back with another video. Again, the first time we visited Fundie's Uncensored, I forgot the audio. So this is our second try at Fundie's Uncensored. But that was a couple weeks ago. So let's see what is going on in the world of Fundies here. Because, as I've mentioned before in another video, that I grew up semi-fundamentalist and some conservative Christian education and some of these things I've seen. Oh, okay. Basically, this is the news of the day. Apparently, James Johnson, who founded Focus on the Family, has died. He is basically this nicer note saying we say that he died. He went with the Lord peacefully following a brief illness, wavering faith. And grieve. Thanks for his blah 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 blah. But essentially, from what people told me was that or I saw online, is that Focus on the Family had some eugenicist beliefs about promoting a certain kind of race of people, and they did a lot of harm to LGBT people, different races. They claim to be pro family, but only pro families that look like them. So, if he is with the Lord, he's got a lot of things to say. I call her Megan Morgan and Paula Morgan. Paul quit his job to be a pickleball player. And I think she's whining about healthcare, but you voted it away, so don't talk about it anymore. Sure, their houses do tend to look like this because they have to minimize space for all their children. Recovery at Chick-fil-A. He's got some ice. They gave him some ice. They give you anything at Chick-fil-A for free, okay, if you ask nice enough. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Yeah, everybody's talking about James Johnson dead. Carissa Collins. We talked a little bit about her. Mandre, you told your wife about the decision. Okay, I think that's the husband is Mandre. I don't know his name is Carissa to see her, and there's some questions about it. She has biracial children, but tends to lighten their skin color. I think I posted that in here about but he's apparently has said that this is the last arrow in the quiver. And if you don't know, there's this Bible verse used out of context being your children will be as numerous as arrows in the quiver. But obviously she doesn't know that it's her last. So I think they have about 8 children anyway. Anything's possible if you ignore financial responsibility. True, he has no job. Yeah, I was gonna watch this, but I haven't gotten by the time I Teen Mania, but I hadn't forgot to watch it. Dental parenting is anti-gospel, apparently. Some people think so. That you should spank your kids because they deserve it. This is Carissa once again. I don't lighten my pictures. Yes, they do, because that child is very much tanner than they were. Right here. Show your husband you love him. What is she doing? Painting? Absolutely. There's this whole fascination in Fundie culture about when you talk about sex or intercourse, they're absolutely do not do it before you get married. Absolutely don't do it. But then they're have it often with your husband. Doesn't matter how you feel, but you should do it with your husband to keep him happy because it's what he deserves. Seriously, we gotta get a grip here. Yes, I saw her book. It's Empathy is Sin. And at Hobby Lobby because my mom forced me to go in there. But we've talked about this a lot about how they think empathy is a sin, but Jesus was the most empathetic person, so I don't know what they're talking about here. Jesus literally died for the cause here. I don't know if that's the most empathetic thing a person could do, could die for people. So I don't know what they mean here. Anybody who looks like this is a red flag. End of discussion. He says, why did you keep that? He thinks he's endearing because he has the emotional intelligence of a microwave blade grass. True. Thinks they say constantly needs abortion. That is not true. Always has the right opinion. Do stuff your mom. Well, stop acting like your wife needs to be your mom. No. Paul thinks he still thinks he's a athlete king. He wants to play in the World Cup and be the best pickleball player you've ever seen. He's not. Um, that's not snarky. Yep. Yeah, he plays pickleball essentially instead of doing his getting a real job. And when they have all these children they need to pay for. Um, that doesn't make sense. That's how drawings works. I am an artistic in many ways, but not on paper. That's how drawing works. Are you dumb? He is. Basically, he yaps all the time to her. Jana Duggar. Well, she's not Duggar anymore, but she's having a baby. But she's only been married for like 2 months, a couple months. You know, of course they like popping out these babies. Man camp. Like, why? That doesn't. Why do we need to do this? Why? Like, is your masculinity so threatened that you feel like you need like a whole environment full of men, which doesn't seem homosexual at all? But okay, whatever they say. Imagine spending your birthday watching a parody film with your grandma. Princess Cut, Pamela's Prayers. I don't know what these movies are, but they probably were okay. Here's another lore story. So in high school, I went to a conservative Christian school, and they had like a band. They had a very specific banned movie list. Like you could not watch these movies at all. But they had like a library you could get DVDs, and a lot of the films were like these. Like these. So I've seen many of them. I've pretty much seen any Christian movie, Christian movie there is to exist. I've probably seen it. I've not seen that one though. Man camp. Oh, here's Morgan again. She's talking about how like she thinks it's offensive that they've told her she should please her husband all the time. But like, there's a sense when we talk about pleasure in your body, you should be the one first of all most comfortable with your body before anyone else is. And I think that's really important to talk about because usually in this purity culture, they don't teach you about your body and your body's urges until then, or they tell you they're unnatural or normal, or you need to wait till you have a husband. But like, our bodies are good and they're sacred, and God says they're good. They're very good, and why should we not talk about them? These guys here, Christ is King. You know, people who are saying this, they're questionable already. Taking them out. Churches urging members to permanently remove library books from Shelby County and check them out and never return them. Basically, they're trying to get rid of all the inclusive books and just not bring them back. Obviously, you're willing to pay that library fine, but it is theft. So theft or civil disobedience is theft, okay? You're taking something that does not belong to you and you didn't bring it back. And you're liable, you're fined, or you get banned from the library. Either one happens first. Oh, I did see these posts either about if you want your husband like a woman dressed as a showgirl, you probably shouldn't either. She's talking about, but the thing about this is that like she has Taylor Swift music in the Instagram thing, but doesn't like the way Taylor Swift dressed. And I think people talk about her new album coming out, and I think that it's a very fascinating choice that like Taylor Swift has chosen to show her body. Not I'm saying that's a bad thing because it's a wonderful thing that women should be able to express themselves however they see fit. But the fact that people are so upset about her doing such is very strange because, you know, there's plenty of other people who show their bodies and she's proud to show her body and she's happy with it. And I'm sorry if your evangelical dreams are crushed because I'm surprised when evangelical people like Taylor Swift and want to go to her concerts but don't like her morals, okay? I had another lore story while thinking about it. In a college class, we watched Miss Americana. Because we were supposed to watch Wasn't Available, but it was about call and vocation is the movie's about. The class was about. But the person I'm sitting next to is very angry about the part in the documentary. If I've seen it. She talks about politicians and how like they're voting they want to get rid of your rights and stuff. He's just like beat red, and I'm like, bro, you need to calm down. It's not that serious. You're just too evangelical. But like that person was another story for another day. She lives free. Your mind-blowing proof that you are made to worship God. I'm not reading it, but this is a stretch here. You guys really sat down and thought about writing this. Being a submitted wife. I do not want to be a submitted wife, okay? I would just not. It just irks me so badly that a man would tell me what to do. I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but like, I've always been very independent, and I realize what I want in a relationship with a person. Well, like, you signed up. He told you the mustache is a red flag. We discussed this. I told you. But she puts this as beautiful, but not without its bad in my own heart. The fact that you feel like you have to burden yourself with your emotions, making them think that you're the problem, but like, making you think that you're the problem is insane, and that's why we go to therapy instead. Pickleball pasta. An incredible review. Oh my god. Okay, so it's from, I don't know what movie they don't say it is, but about the hatred spewing out of Christian phobes. No, it's not exist. Christian haters, lukewarm Christians. I don't like this word anymore because this is out of context from Revelation, and you can go on your versus camps about salvation, but I'm not a theology nerd at versus. Like, can you lose your salvation or can you not? I don't know, but based on your own theology, you have an inclusion on that. Relevant, cool Christians, sideways Christians, liberal Christians. Obviously, man, you can't be a liberal Christian these days. Cast of converted Jesus. Among those was an atheist. Blah blah blah. Firing squad. Oh, I feel like that's what this movie is about. Probably, giving up your life for Jesus. Blah. Save us all. Believe in the Lord. Salvation. This basically talks about they basically throw the Apostles' Creed in at the end here, but okay. Fundie circle of life, a lot there. So Pickleball hates Redditors, talks about how awful Reddit is. He loves and shit. You can see information, including medical info. It's from Reddit. I love this for him. It says, do you know that most generations up until recently did they period blah. And let's talk about this. You have this wrong context here about the rod and shepherd's rod. It's not used to discipline the sheep in context. It is used in the sense to keep the other animals away from the sheep. It's not used for discipline. It's a tool for protection that the shepherd would use to keep the other animals away from the sheep. It's not to be used as a weapon, a danger to the sheep. So, the 19th man should be appealed, authority that God did. Who said that? Exactly. Like, I'm kind of tired of white women trying to think they know what they know for all women. Why would you not read romance? Romance be good. Smutty. He can't even say smut. Put it out there. Say it with your mouth. I don't know who this. Oh, I love this guy. His videos are so good. He parodies videos. They're really good though. Man can't begin. Let's see. I don't understand who this is, so I'll come back to that. I don't know. I Am Dead. I love her shorts. Beaver Creek Baptist Church. Free hand sanitizer at every service. Wow. I mean, I think it's okay to pray for your school, but to Jesus? To who is Jesus? But I think you have to do it in a respectful way and not just assume that, this pickleball, he's not going to win everybody, alright? Here's this other lady talking about to Forrest. Forrest Frank is alright music. I don't think his music has been that good. After this one, but these poor children. Jesus, Fundie has something to say. Is we're kneeling possibly 9 children. I don't know why she needs to say that, but okay, cool. I don't understand why she needed to say this random way about that. Paul thinks he's somebody still. Ginger tea. Real men. Do you want to be a real man? I don't know what that even means. I think I said this in the last video. Obviously, nobody knows. They're talking about people really complaining about Jesus Christ Superstar. That's such trying to think out of my brain farted. Jesus Christ Superstar. I wanted to talk about that because I didn't get it in the video. About how people are complaining about it, but realistically, Jesus obviously was a darker black person. And Jesus' plight is the experience that every black person goes through. If you ever read Crossing the Lynching Tree by James Cone, he has a very informative, good source to talk about this subject. This is another person enlightening her black child. I'm not how to. That's funny because they're definitely not participating in King David. Okay, they always talk about things having to be God ironing. Raw milk. Don't drink raw milk. That's bad for you. All right, don't do that. Vasectomy. Oh yeah, this part, Carissa needed to have a miscarriage, or was in that process of miscarrying, and she didn't want medical intervention, really giving it sepsis and died. But anyway, she goes on and on and on and on. This is what I'm talking about. This isn't. Listen. Blah 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 blah. That's what I want to talk about. And I think this is true. And I think that's why I love Jesus Christ Superstar so much. And I think people have an incorrect opinion about people have an incorrect opinion here about this musical, and I think you need to like sit down. If you have a problem with Jesus Christ Superstar, I mean, sure, it plays around a little bit, but like if you sit down and like read it and listen to it and like think about Jesus' humanity, because Jesus was human, but Jesus fully was divine, but also was fully human. And I think Gethsemane is one of the like songs in the musical that talks about that, and I think we forget about Jesus' human nature, and that like it's not trying to convert anybody to the gospel, but this musical is telling the story from Jesus' perspective here, and I think it does historically a very good job at telling you this from a historical lens. So it's one of my favorite musicals. I love it and I'm obsessed with it, but I'll have to do this. Right, once again, yeah, don't drink raw milk. It's bad for you. Somebody's having a baby, tried a wife, and almost broke. I did read this. I found this article and that's why I wanted to make this video again. Yeah, being a child wife isn't good for you, your psyche. True voice with the 22 for my 9th birthday, they called it a red rejecting. Thinking about does she mean like a 22 like a Botox is what I'm going to happen? I don't know. That's true. He feels he's been sabotaged. Yeah, that's a little silly. Someone also has a baby that looks like a placenta. That's a BT. Oh, sorry. We talked about this, how like she doesn't care about her biracial children. She acts like she whitewashes them. Don't know who these people are. Life of Faith. I don't know if I read those either. Probably didn't. Can I be tried wife and Delulu in the same breath? Yes. Women's performance shorts. God honoring. Man exposes demonic Halloweens. What do you think Halloween is about? Like, it's not about demons, but like preparing for All Saints and enjoying having a little fun with it. It's fun, and I enjoy Halloween. You know. Make people believe in any part of Christianity before. may be used by that, but I was thinking, yeah, please follow medical advice about birth and birthing experience because you don't want to lose your life or the life of the child. Okay. Oh, the Willis clan. I think I watched. Oh, I know about her. A YouTuber I watch. Summer Sanchez did a video about them. If you want to watch that, it's very, very good. She does a very deep explanation into talking about this experience here. This is true. I feel like as much as I have respect for homeschooling, and I think it can be good for some people, I think that it becomes a like kind of culty, like raise your children to not see the world, and then like there's no one watching, making sure these children are safe. Things like that kind of worry me about children. Trying to have people. I haven't watched the season 2 yet, but I'm going to. Yeah, don't drink raw milk. We've discussed this. What is it supposed to be? The girl in the middle. Oh, I've seen Emma Mae McDaniel. Somebody made a video about her. I think it's in Mental Skin several years ago, and then people were mad about it. I don't know who this is either. But know what that is. She had her 6th child. This woman who's contending for, if you don't know, she's very much hating on LGBT people and wants this bill, not this bill, this Overville versus Hoffer overturned, so LGBT people cannot get married. Mighty men can't. These spiritual energy is in Bali. Hillsong is to give it up here. They just care about money, alright? Eve was the first feminist. Okay. We'll pop off, Queen. If we don't read this in context here, we have to remember that Adam and Eve, yes, they were created at separate times. However, they were created to be equals. They did not. This submission thing does not come across until after things have happened, and they have chosen to eat this fruit after God has told them not to. And she says, "Your husband," God will says, your husband will rule over you, and such and such. Hate women, and was like, can I be dramatic? Well, I don't know if we're gonna get very far from that. AI family portraits and turning them into random things. Oh, that is very much an AI. These AI generated, and it's kind of horrible. I hate it because we've talked about it already. Like she's whitewashing these children that are very black and biracial. Girl defined, had to be stinky and there's something about that. They don't use deodorant. Something weird. David Rodriguez. Alibi, she is very much a bad person. Don't get your theology from her. Fundie's behaving badly. Don't find us. Oh, okay. That doesn't even make sense. Okay. Yes. I used to watch Welcome to Plathville, but I have put it away now. Okay, I'm done with it. I probably will never watch it again. I watched the first maybe 5 seasons or so. 4 seasons or something when I watched it. When it was wholesome anyway. And now, Micah's girlfriend has come out and talked about how like this family is very abusive and homophobic and threatening Lydia's husband, who they think is gay. We have no proof of that, but they're like, they seem to be shocked when she wants to marry this man after 4 months, but they seem to be happy, I guess, but it is what it is, and I think we should believe women. What I will say before I put the plots to rest here is that when people tell you they're the victims of verbal or physical abuse, that we should take them seriously and not be like, oh, they're the problem. Or like, why did you stay so long? Because that is very harmful to the survivors of what's going on in these fundamentalist families, okay? Yeah, I'll put that away from there. These pictures are horrible. He's having an affair. Listen, you need to leave that man, okay? Because if he does it once, he's gonna do it again. So don't trust the transformer. This conservative Christian said, yeah, she's mad. She's not in. Megan Fox, I don't know who that is. Paul, using your wife. Yeah, it is very much. Yeah, she finally had her DNC because she needed to, otherwise she's gonna die. Very much. Girl defined a health company. Health. Please go to real doctors, okay, for your health. Take your health seriously. Take your health seriously. Alfalfa. And the more patriarchal, easier they had the domesticate hide, blah blah. Well, I didn't realize who that was. What movie is that? The Little Rascals? I think so. Distracted driving while memorizing. Dad, don't do this. Please pay attention to the road. Please. Pickleball day. And the husband, hey, I don't. There's this, once again, there's this thought about how, like, they think you have to birth, that, like, you failed as a woman if you can't birth a child. Like, C-sections are beneficial and they do help the life of the mother and the child, alright? So don't trust these people to tell you what they know what they're talking about when they don't. Blanket training, I know I've heard about it, but yeah. I think, isn't it like, I can't remember what blanket training is, but isn't it like, you have to sit on the blanket or something, and then they like spank you if you get off the blanket. Yeah, you had to stay on the rug. If you got off, they would spank you, and that's why these poor children don't know how to do anything. Girl, go to the doctor. Happy Caravan. There's another documentary about a family in a caravan. I can't remember what it is. That looks disgusting. That looks like ew. Let's see what else is going on. And it's giving witchcraft. Okay, anointing. That. Why does she look like that? Of her baby apparently, but like, I don't think she was done having. I don't remember. It's been a minute since I don't want to be a top fan of her. Fundy Friday. I do like they are very good. The Fundy Fridays is a very, they do fairly informed information. Yeah. Some people they kind of like have been forcing them to, in these like when you talk about children. Bethany. Some babies. I don't know who babies those are. I've seen this lady. Who is she? Girl to find out. That girl again. We talked about this, I think, in the other video. I think we're kind of where we were. Peel the cauliflower. That's a really gross picture. I do like K-pop Demon Hunter. It's very good. I don't know who this is. I think they were something strange. Oh yes, Jinkijibo. If you've never watched his videos, you should. They're very good. Some of them are good. Some of them I'm like, I have hands and disagree here. But he does a video where he talks about Chris Collins and kind of explaining that situation. It's a very good video, so you should check it out. Morgan Cooks. Children. This girl obviously doesn't wear pants on plants. We talked about this a little bit. Yeah, Sadie Robinson is having another baby. She is through the pickleball. There's another VTuber, Jaden. Yeah, I have looked about one of the Jeff ones. It's just very interesting. Free labor. All this pickleball. We talked a little bit about this at some point. 84 hours home birth to hospital. Like, girl, go to the hospital if you need to go to the hospital. Don't wait, otherwise you're writing these names. These names. It's even Carissa Collins by educated. They talk another video of a YouTuber I watched and ended up being here. Ends up in here also. Yeah, Sean Futch. If you don't know about him, he essentially wanted to do concerts during COVID, and the government was like, no. He's like, I'm being persecuted, and he's like, dramatic, and they're like, and he's trying to go to Canada, and they don't want him. Honestly, gossip. Jake, thankfully, she says he shares her sons on their phone. I don't understand. Explain Bible verses. I think we talked about this a little bit. About how bodies propaganda that it wasn't real, but like women's bodies have been marginalized since forever, and I think learning how to enjoy your body and enjoy what it is very important. It's very, very important to talk about and know about your body and pleasure and taking care of yourself. It's super, super important. And knowing that your body is loved and sacred is important. I wanted to find my Uncle Tate. Someone else posts a video. This is simply some nonsense here, talking about birth control, and birth control is important because it also saves lives and prevents pregnancies that you don't want, because you have the right to say no. Do transitioning of Jesus if you want to, but I'm not saying Jesus told you that. Jesus wants you happy in the body that you love. Christianizes you. Is makeup a sin? No. Don't convince yourself that you're happy in a marriage that you're not. Alright, please leave. If you're not happy, you need to go, and I don't want you to feel like you're trapped, because, and there's also resources to help you if you need to get out of it. Feminism is a giant scam. No, it isn't. Seriously, like, girl define, okay? No. There's something I'm looking for. I don't know if it was in here. Children, like, children take some responsibility, okay? Like, if you're having children, be responsible. Shiny Happy People season 2, I haven't watched it, but I plan on it. I think I have to be in the right kind of mood to watch things like Shiny Happy People, because I get a little sad, and then not in the mood of watching videos like that. Carissa's in the headlines again. She's on a magazine. People are like, don't you know who this is? Like, why are you promoting them? Yes. That. Well, their president rolls the dice and passes disease without testing a part to see if it's a carrier. Some irresponsibility here. Please go to the doctor if you find that. Don't just be like, I'll leave it. Toxic empathy. Empathy is not toxic and should never believed to be such. That doesn't make sense. I was 15, he was 20. This is grooming, okay? There's no reason you need to be talking to someone who isn't under. If you're over 18, you should be talking to someone who is under 18, okay? It's just not appropriate. It's gonna lend into very toxic, horrible things. You should stay away from minors, period. You should probably, get some help. The good old days for white people. Like, 9 C-sections. Oh, that's crazy. I think you're not supposed to do it more than, really not more than 5 because of the, tissue and stuff. There's something I was looking for. This is true. Something I was looking for. We might not help meet. No. I was not. We're not living Little House on the Prairie. Okay, for real. This I was looking for. Yes. One stop. Yes. Her videos are very, very good as well. Her name is Liz Hunter. You should go watch her videos. But she's escaped a cult. She grew up in a cult, and as an adult, she's broken free and talked about her experiences. Her videos are very good. Anyway, a lot of pickleball and Chick-fil-A, babies, turkey. Anyway, it was Why do we need to make jokes like this? Like, why? Okay? Why? Why do we need to do that? Yes. Yeah. I'm not Crystal Collins. Anyway, that's all I got. Okay, I think we're gonna stop. That's enough for right now. But thank you all so much for diving into this hole with me. And if you haven't heard today, you are so loved. Bye.